This is my steampunk themed clock. I built it with Nixie tubes. The flickering are there because I'm multiplexing. The Nixie tubes themselves are what are called biquinary. Normal Nixie would have 10 cathodes and 1 anode. Each one of these tubes have only 5 cathodes and 2 anodes. The digits are separated odd and even in the tube. And so 0 and 1 are one pin, 2 and 3 are another pin, 3 and 4 a third pin, and so on. Those are tied together, the actual shaped electrodes. And so you would have an even anode and an odd anode. And here I'm multiplexing them very quickly so that I display all the odds and I display all the evens. That cut down on the number of pins I needed on the microprocessor. So these are a little odd, unusual Nixie tubes. When I'm actually looking at them, I don't see the flickering as much. They're being updated 64 times a second. The processor that I'm using is a Teensy 4. I chose that one, 4.1, Teensy 4.1. I chose that because of the number of pins that I had available to actually do this. The processor pins go out to NPN drivers to pull the cathodes down, and I use an opto oscillator or an opto isolator to handle the high level switch of the anodes. So I'm very rapidly choosing the odds and the evens. I'm powering this with a 12 volt transformer. The 12 volt transformer then goes to a module that ups the voltage to 180 volts, and that drives the Nixie tubes. The 12 volt is then also goes to a regulator to give me 5 volts, which goes to the rest of the circuitry. I'm using a GPS unit to set the time. There is no other Bluetooth or anything else associated with this, so the GPS sets the time, and then I use the wheel on the front. That's a potentiometer. I use that to select what time zone that you're in. So if I turn this, it'll go by half-hour increments. And you can see that I am changing what time zone I'm in. I have a little LED down here, multicolor, and I'm using to tell me whether I'm AM, PM. AM are, red, yellow, magenta colors, and blue, green, cyan are PM. This sensor that's over here is a motion detector. So if no one's in the room, it'll just shut everything off. The little lights that I'm using for the colon separators, those were sold as chakra crystals. So they're 6-sided crystals, and I just wrapped some wire around them for decoration. I've got some other little wire posts on the top for decoration. And then, I've got a packet of fake gears that were steampunk gears that are just sort of glued onto the front. I've got this tubing that runs so that it looks kind of like I got a valve or whatever going on. So I spent more time with the case, I think, than the actual electronics. But it came out looking pretty good. I hope you like this. Thanks.